So I hope you're all well. Take the time to relax and be here, be present, please. Take this opportunity. We can be so busy in our lives. Satsang is not hard work. At least it's not meant to be hard work. So just relax and be at peace. Please take this opportunity. Be open to the teachings. Be open to what's happening. Let me just post the usual message before I forget. There we go. So for those of you, well, there's the usual message. Please take your time to read it. It just explains how this call works. The fact that this call is being recorded and it might be shared publicly. And if you speak, your audio will be recorded. So if you don't want that to be shared, please let me know and we'll make sure that's not shared. But otherwise, you might find your voice ends up on YouTube. Not that many people view my videos anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But you never know, I might get a hit here and there, so be prepared. So remember, this teaching is Maya, is illusion. Anything of any value does not come from Maya. Spiritually speaking. There are lots of wonderful things in Maya. Lots of wonderful things in Maya. But none of them are liberating. That's what I'm trying to say. The deeper teachings are in silence. The deeper teachings are when we make contact with our true self. Now, we can't actually make contact with our true self. If you consider yourself to be the body-mind, which is a limited fictional entity, then that cannot make contact with the true self. And if you are the true self, which you are, then you are the true self. And maybe it will make sense in some way. Only when you make contact with the true self, that's the true teacher. That's the deeper teaching will be revealed to you. Self to self. what actually happens is the false, also called Maya, disappears, and there is just a full splendor of pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness is love and peace and happiness. And it's unending, unchanging. It's a rock. It's a firm foundation. It's everything. And it heals. This means it removes illusion, delusion, suffering. Well, that's how it appears from the point of view of the limited person. In reality, it's just self being itself. That's it, really. That's it. So, while receiving these teachings or following these teachings or listening to these teachings might require faith and belief even, as well as interest and investigation. What we're really talking about is nothing to do with belief, nothing to do with ideologies, concepts. We could call it truth. It's to do with truth. So it doesn't matter what Tom thinks about it or what anyone else thinks about it. Truth is truth. And this must be realized. Not believed in, ultimately. Although, as I said, belief may be required for some, not for everyone. But this is discovering what you are, discovering what you actually are. So think about it. Have a think about it. What is this about? This is actually about finding out what I actually am. What am I actually? Maybe you think you're a body-mind entity, a limited being. Is it true? Are you a limited entity? Is that what you are? Is that what I am? Is that what we are? Now, the scriptures are a guide, a map, a method is prescribed and indicated. An answer is indicated. The scriptures, they always say, this cannot be discovered with the mind. And obviously I said, think about it. So I'm aware I should say, think about it, have a think. So what are you? And if this can't be discovered by the mind, how can it be discovered? How can the truth of what you are be discovered if it cannot be discovered by the mind? In fact, the scriptures say not only can it not be discovered by the mind, but the mind, the thoughts, the chatter gets in the way. And it's this paying attention to thoughts and objects in the world and being preoccupied with Maya, thoughts, feelings, objects, sensations, etc., all the phenomena that appear. It's the preoccupation with thoughts and Maya that keeps us believing we are this limited body-mind entity. So how on earth can we get past this? We say that this can't be discovered with the mind. What you truly are cannot be discovered with the mind, and what you truly are has nothing to do with the mind. Fundamentally, that is. What you truly are has fundamentally nothing to do with the mind. And yet, because ignorance is there, if it's there, we take us, ignorance, if we remember, is the belief I'm a separate body-mind entity. And because ignorance is there, when we try and discover what we are, the only way we know how to do that is with the mind. Because as human beings, when we want to figure something out, we use the mind. We use the body-mind. What we truly are doesn't need the body-mind. It doesn't need the body-mind in order to identify itself. So, if I wanted to look at stars far, far away in the galaxy, I would need a telescope. And if I want to look at microscopic things, I need a microscope. So I need certain gadgets and pieces of equipment to look at these things. And if I want to look at the world around me, I need my body, mind, my five senses. If I want to think, I need my mind. But what you truly are is unique. It doesn't need any equipment, doesn't even need a body-mind entity to mediate its knowing it, or knowing itself. So to know what you are, you don't need specialized equipment. You don't need scientific equipment. And not only that, bizarrely enough, you don't even need the body-mind. What you are always knows itself. It's always knowing itself. It's always aware of itself. It's always centered in itself. Lost in Maya, it appears otherwise. It appears there are lots of us here. It appears there are lots of separate people here. It appears that we were born at a point in time, or we all die at a point in time. Which is true when we're talking about the body-mind. But in terms of what we really are, how to discover that which is changeless and eternal, ever blissful, devoid of suffering. Well, I would never have believed these teachings or understood these teachings if it were not for the presence of Guru Ramana Maharshi. If it was not for Guru Ramana, I don't think I would have any faith in these teachings. Or any, they're just too absurd on the face of it. For me, that when I was seeking, it's just these kinds of teachings, they're just too out there. Too ridiculous. But through the grace of God, through Ramana's grace, through the grace of the Self, I don't know why, but something opened me up to these teachings, these ridiculous, ludicrous teachings that say, in essence, you're not a human being. In essence, there are not many. In essence, we are God, and God is us. God and us are one. We are divine. To my mind, to Tom's mind, that just sounded stupid. Sounded silly. Sounded like make-believe. Magical thinking. But something happened. Something opened me up. And I was able to, I say I was able to, as if Tom could have done any of this. No. But there was an intuition that was given to me that this is true. And so through grace, I was given an intuition that we are bigger than this. We are more than just this body-mind entity. And maybe you have this intuition too. We all actually have it. And then through more grace, this intuition was allowed to blossom and bloom and unfold and reveal itself. And then all merges into one and suffering fades away. And it was all lovely. I know some people have really difficult awakenings and things. I had a very difficult time seeking, especially when I was much, much younger. But the awakening was just very, very nice for me. Just deepening and deepening surrender and love, devotion, opening, silence, destroying everything. It destroyed everything. Everything. Which to the mind sounds scary, but the reality is beautiful. So as long as you think you're the body-mind, it's very difficult to surrender. Or your surrender will be partial only. So if you can have faith in Ramana's teachings, believe him, believe me, believe the scriptures when they say, you're not the body-mind, you're the self, you're divine, pure consciousness. Allow your heart to open up and soar high in the sky. Allow your the intuitive part of you to feel the truth of these teachings and grasp that intuitive part of you. Because the mind, it doesn't make sense to the mind. There are too many flaws in the teaching that the mind can find. What about this? What about that? Guru Ramana says, take this world to be a dream and you will discover the self. So, take this world to be a dream. let go. And when you let go of the branch of Maya, you fall into the lap of the self. Safe, secure. Very scary, letting go of everything you know. When you do it with faith, you discover that which is true, that which is real, the true self. And you realize what was so precious to you, namely Maya, that you've lost, was actually fiction. And what you've gained is the truth, the self, and it always was true. You didn't really gain it. It's just what you are, and it's just kind of revealed. But it was always fully revealed. But now it's recognized, let's say. Can't really put it into words. That's not right either. So my advice, just hang out here with me for a bit. Relax here with me. Whatever you hear, whatever you perceive, don't take it to be real. See if you can allow yourself to think of everything as an illusion. Everything is a dreamlike illusion. It helps you let go. And don't take yourself to be the body-mind, because that's a part of the dreamlike illusion. And any feelings or experiences you have, or insights or intuitions, let them all go too. And just be what you are, the pure consciousness. And allow that to teach you, metaphorically speaking. It doesn't actually teach you, it's just what you are. If your mind has questions, treat it as an illusion. Just try it for a while. Treat it all as an illusion. Pay no attention. And just sink back into what you are. If the mind has doubts, treat it as an illusion. Don't worry about it. You'll come back to your presence awareness. And if your mind is racing, don't worry about it. Just come back to your presence awareness. Allow it to do it. Allow the mind to do whatever it wants to do. You don't have to pay it attention. You don't have to feed it with your attention, with your energy.